And we are live.
We'll do it live!
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football. Balls for everyone's taste. Today is March 16th. That's right, it's Austin 316 Day. Oh, hell yeah. I am Mike Fish, and I'm joined by the original Texas Rattlesnake. It's Mr. Alex Middleton. I don't think you are.
Hey man, I like that. I like that intro. That was cool. You are so stoked for Austin 316 Day.
It's my favorite day of the year.
Is it really?
It is, because
it's better than St. Patty's Day. I feel like that's a hell of a week for you, at least in the year, I would assume.
It's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, right?
Right. So it's like you get back-to-back days every year. That's got to be probably your favorite week of the year, I would assume.
Is St. Patrick's Day the 17th every year? For some reason, I thought it was one of those. I thought it was one of those where it's like the third Wednesday of.
It's not Easter. No,
it's not. So St. Patrick's Day has nothing to do with Jesus.
St. Patrick's. Yeah, he has just a day.
Okay, that's pretty. Okay,
it's like his birthday, the day he drove all the snakes out of Ireland.
I do remember, funny enough, going back a whole year of history, that I was super hyped about 316 Day and St. Patrick's Day. I was joking about booking the days off work so I could go nuts in the city, and then the world ended and I was stuck at home.
Yeah, pretty much. COVID kind of ruins everything, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Have we discussed that? Has anyone discussed that yet?
I want to say I heard a couple people talking about how COVID kind of. There's a different time we're living in. You know what I'm saying?
It's a new normal that we're living in right now.
I think that's a good word. We should start using that from now on. New normal.
Hashtag new normal. You heard it here first.
We started it. Yep.
Might get some new merch going for that.
The old new normal. The new old normal.
The new normal.
The new normal. The newest normal.
The best normal.
Newer normal.
The
newish normal ? Make all of those shirts. Make all of those options for shirts. So we'll just see who buys what the most. And by who buys what, I mean they won't buy any of those. I don't even get the joke.
It will just be me buying the samples.
It's just you.
Speaking of buying samples, Claret and Big Blue t-shirt.
That is a nice t-shirt.
Thanks. It's been stuck in my closet for since I bought it, because it just hasn't been t-shirt. Well, no, it just hasn't been t-shirt weather. But then
it's t-shirt weather all the time here, I feel like, except for that one week where it was like, hey, Mike, I can't do anything because it froze and our state shut down.
And we're eating each other to stay alive.
Some did, unfortunately. Luckily, I was spared.
Well, that's because you're pretty skinny like myself.
That's true.
So
very gamey.
So in times like that, we'd be the last to go because what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
It'd just be
people would also take us because they could lift us up onto things to reach stuff too.
We would
I feel we'd be very useful, not for strength, but I don't know.
I feel we would be used as
being lifted up.
We would be used as weapons to kill the fatter people. For them.
Yeah, I would probably just try and learn how to climb trees really good. That would be my system. Can't get me in a tree. That's what I always say.
I mean, have you ever caught a squirrel?
No, I haven't. You're right. But my friend's dog has before, so they are catchable. I do know that. So
when the zombie apocalypse hits, it's the dogs we have to fear.
We trust the dogs. They're man's best friend. It's in the name, you know.
Hello, gentlemen. Stone Cold Steve Austin is the man. Cheers, Nate Dogg. I don't think that's the real Nate Dogg.
Yeah, Nate Dogg.
But speaking of, so it is Austin 316 Day, or 316 Day. I don't know what the hashtag is. But I wanted to, because I mean, you're familiar. Obviously, I know we've discussed this before. You're not a huge wrestling fan,
right?
But you're aware of the man, the myth, the legend of Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
I think everybody should be, at least.
He's like better than Hulk Hogan because Steve Austin never used racial slurs. But
right. We're a big anti-racial slur podcast over here. Just hand up if you hate racial slurs. I do. See, it's all of us.
And
look at me. I'm holding 2 hands up.
Oh, you're twice as anti-racism as me. Damn.
Exactly.
You got me. But go back to last week's episode. We discussed that a little bit more with Papa John. But anyway, the point is, I'm going off a slight tangent here. Okay, so one of the main things that I always hear, I appreciate I'm a 35-year-old man, and I mean, I don't watch wrestling as religiously as I used to in my youth, but I still watch it. It's still fun sometimes to watch. But people still love to remind me, for some reason, that apparently word on the street is that wrestling isn't all too legit.
What?
I know, right?
No, dude, that stuff's real. You mean to tell me?
Apparently.
They're not really just getting hit by metal chairs all the time?
Well, I guess that's real because...
Or The Rock didn't blow up that ambulance?
I think the ambulance did blow up, but he was probably not inside of it. But yes.
Wait, he survived that?
He, if anything, it improved his career because he went on to do quite well for himself in the movies, in the films.
Right, but Bret Hart died. That seems legit. That seems real.
Wait, when did he die? Did I miss that episode?
Wait, one of the Hart brothers, didn't he? I don't know. Didn't he fall getting lowered down?
Yeah, no, that was real. That happened.
See? So then you're trying to tell me it's fake. Explain that. Game, set, match.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. Next, I was going to say,
Mike proved that wrestling's real.
I had a whole bit, but you kind of taken me off that with the whole Owen Hart thing. But
may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Owen. But point I was going to make is that people. As again, welcome to Claret Big Blue podcast about West Ham and New York Giants. Anyway, Owen Hart. So anyway, yes, wrestling. So people always say like, oh, wrestling is fake. Wrestling is fake. Oh, I can't believe you watched that. It's not real. And then they turn around and talk to you for 3 hours about WandaVision, about how amazing that is.
Boy, do I have some spoiler alerts for them, because
you do realize that's
what you gotta do when you're watching the Marvel movies. You gotta start with Captain America, then you gotta go Incredible Hulk, then you go Captain America 2, then you go Captain America, the Winter Soldier, then you gotta go Incredible Hulk 2, and then you gotta go Wonder Woman, and it's like, dude, I don't care. But like, yeah, please tell me more about how my sport is dumb.
Right.
It's like we're all guilty of it on something that we don't understand or don't like. It's just easy to be like, that's dumb. You know that's not this, right? And it's like, yeah, guys, I know that like Batman's not real, but like some people just like to watch the movies, I guess. Yeah, wrestling's not real, but it's fucking tight. The storylines are fun.
But I just always try to get around where do you think that change happens? Where just because like if I was sitting there watching, I don't know, watching the Avengers, and spoiler alert if you haven't watched Infinity Wars or Endgame, where someone may or may not die.
Don't ruin it.
But
I haven't seen it yet.
But how stupid would you look if at the end, when the end credits come up, you just stood up and was like, that was fake. He didn't really die.
Harry Potter. They're not even really wizards. They're not really wizards.
That broom can't fly. It's the strings. It's the strings.
Bullshit. Like this guy. Although I kind of want to be that guy at the movie now. Like just like Star Wars. You're like fake.
But I would be like dressed in full like wrestling t-shirt. Boo! This sucks.
Go like take it back to like go to like a play, like see the Phantom of the Opera, and you're like, you know that guy's not really a phantom. I bought a hot dog on a street vendor next to the building from him the other day. He's not really a phantom. This isn't an opera. This is a playhouse.
They don't hate each other. They get along real well backstage. I read it on the internet.
Love, believe it or not.
He was in another play. I saw it. He got real.
Yeah, technically, like any movie you watch is somewhat a lie because not every love interest can be real. So, like, yeah, kind of ruined. So, yeah, that is a good point. Like, dude, you can't fucking make fun of wrestling and say it's fake and then go be like, well, let me talk about the best episode or best movie in the Star Wars cinematic universe. Have you guys seen The Mandalorian? That was great. It's like, yeah, it's not really.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Everything's fake.
All fake.
Unless you watch
sports.
the documentary, I guess.
Sometimes those could be fake too. What if it's a wrestling documentary? Boom. Right? Or a documentary about acting.
Or watching a football game and Jack Grealish falls over.
Mm-hmm.
Fake.
That's real. Well, I mean, yeah, he's trying to get into acting. But you know what would be really crazy is if you watch The Disaster Artist. I think that's what it is.
About the worst movie ever made or something.
Right. That is a fake movie about making a fake movie. If you think about it, if you want to get really deep with this, Inception style, it's a fake movie about making a fake movie.
It's a fake movie about a true story about the making of a fake movie.
A fake movie about people that want to be in fake movies, but then can't get into fake movies. So then they themselves have to make a fake movie, and you were watching a fake movie about their fake movie conquest to make a fake movie because they couldn't get in other fake movies.
But
that's how many times I can say fake movie.
But where do you draw the line at fake? Because, for example, like Spinal Tap is a fake band, but then they released an album, so does that not make them a real band?
Or does it make it a soundtrack?
Pretty good soundtrack, though.
See, this is where, you know what? Like, these people that want to make fun of wrestling, we're going to really start to blur the lines of reality if you really want to dig deep into this. And, like, I am down to go down this rabbit hole. You guys know me. I'll get lost talking about this for hours, and it'll be nonsensical, and people will think I'm crazy, and maybe I am. But at what point is it not fake? What is real? What isn't real? You know, at this point?
This is where
Are we even real?
We need that Always Sunny meme, like the lines going everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm smoking a cigarette. Charlie Day trying to explain it.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Just saying, it's a slippery slope, everybody.
But anyway, WandaVision was great, by the way. You should watch that.
I've sort of watched it. My girlfriend watched it, and I was like around when it was on.
But you got the new one starting soon. Have you heard that? With the Falcon Arrow and Winter Soldier or something?
Well, obviously Thanos killed the Winter Soldier, so no.
Did he?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I was going to say, I missed that.
I love doing that, and then people get mad. They're like, he did not! I'm like, well, the cut that I saw, he totally did.
Speaking of cuts, the Schneider cut comes out soon. I think it's Thursday?
That was the one that got leaked, right?
Did it get leaked?
I think it did. I'm not sure. See, I'm the worst person to talk to about this kind of stuff.
At this point, you just make stuff up just to feel like
I might.
We
should do like a wrestling show where you recap like wrestling, and I just don't watch it, but I go with it. I'm like, yeah, dude, and I thought that was crazy, man.
Well, now you can do that because starting from, I believe it's Thursday, Peacock will be the new home. The cock will be the new home of WWE Network.
Wrestling on the cock, you know what I'm saying?
So you can watch Premier League football, and then after that's finished, you can go straight into wrestling. So you'll be able to watch WrestleMania this year. Lucky you.
How about that? It's not going to be like pay-per-view on Peacock?
No. You'll get it for your... Yes, I'm positive. You'll get it for...
Well, I sure hope so.
By the way, do you do the $4.99 or the $9.99 Peacock?
I pay for Comcast Xfinity, and I pay out the ass for that, so they just throw in Peacock.
Oh, happy days. How does it work for a TV? Do you have to go through
I
this
use an
app?
Apple TV. You can go through it. You like they have like an Xfinity like menu you can use to get Peacock on it, but we usually just use our Apple TV for anything we're streaming.
So you have to select the app.
Yeah, so like I have that like Apple Plus, Amazon, Netflix, and now I got Peacock up there.
You didn't want to go to Paramount Plus?
I do have Paramount Plus because it was CBS All Access, and now it is Paramount Plus.
Which is pretty sweet.
It is. I'm a huge fan.
Although one thing I do, because I've been binge watching Tosh.0 on Paramount Plus. I love that show.
Okay.
You say okay as if to say.
I love Daniel Tosh. Daniel Tosh is great.
But
he's way better than Rob Dyrdek.
Facts. But I was getting hyped to watch Beavis and Butthead because that used to be my jam when I was younger. But then when I started watching it, I guess obviously for I don't know, rights purposes or whatever, they've cut out the bits of the Beavis and Butthead episodes where they would critique music videos.
Oh.
It's the best part.
That's no fun.
It's the best part. So, boo, Paramount Plus. Boo.
And they only have one season of Bar Rescue on there.
I didn't even know that was
kind of
on
dumb. One season is, so enjoy your 15 episodes.
That's a great show, too.
It is. I love that show. I DVR it all the time, so luckily I have a stash.
I didn't know that was Paramount, because that used to be on Spike, right?
Yeah, well, Spike is now Paramount.
So why the hell they only got one season on there?
I don't know. Maybe like it's on some other streaming site, but I don't think so. I have no idea how that works.
I don't know. Right. Well, I guess we need to...
We should probably talk about the stuff we talk about on the podcast usually.
I've been putting it off, quite frankly. But I guess we should. But before we get into that then, as it is, again, Austin 316 Day, what beer are you toasting to this day? I'm assuming it's a 7-star.
It is a Hopwave IPA, one of their new ones that they got from Southern Star Brewing Company. Pretty dope.
I have, actually... We're going to do a live taste testing.
Okay.
Because I went to the store. This is a great story. It's going to be on Netflix one day. I went to the store and I saw this beer. It's called Back to Reality by 3 Threes here in New Jersey. And I literally just bought it because it looks like... For those that are listening to this on Spotify, I'm going to describe the can. It just looks like Back to the Future.
It does.
But it's called Back to Reality. So that's why I bought it. I have no idea if it's any good. When I say we're going to do a live taste test, I'm not going to do the whole...
you have to do it now.
I'm getting all these notes.
No, that's what I want.
Okay. I'm pouring it. Can you hear...
Oh, that's really poor sounding.
Could you hear that?
No.
Oh. Oh, there's the camera. It's kind of cloudy-ish.
A little hazy.
I'm getting some citrusy notes. Ooh, that's good. It's a little bit. Are you a big fan of citrus beers?
Sours.
Well, yeah, that's where I normally hate citrus beers. But it's a little bit citrusy, but it's on point.
It's a good citrusy. It's just enough.
Just enough. It's perfect for this time of year as the sun's starting to come out. So, Back to Reality by 3 Threes in New Jersey. Check it out. And also sponsor us, please. Thank you.
I'll have to try some the next time I'm in New Jersey, which is not often, but I'll try some. You can send me one. Just send me a can.
You don't pass by New Jersey very often?
Not in passing. I wish I did. Like Tony Soprano, that'd be cool.
But soon Soon we'll be in the same spot, I reckon. We'll do a podcast together at some point, I'm sure. At one point.
Hopefully. If we are doing a podcast together right now.
You know what I mean. Fuckface.
We do one every Tuesday. You should check it out. It's called Claire at Big Blue.
Ooh. What's it about?
Well, we usually try and talk about soccer and football, but get sidetracked and talk about everything else.
I don't believe it. I don't believe such a niche podcast would exist.
Oh, but it does.
But, so, West Ham United. They played a soccer game on Sunday.
On Sunday, yes.
Sunday. Played Man United. And going into it, I mean, we made predictions last week. You predicted 2-1. I predicted 3-1. I predicted Craig Dawson header. And boom! I was on the fucking money because Craig Dawson scored one hell of a header on Sunday. That is
a positive. We did score the only goal in that game. Those are just facts.
Boy is on fire, Mr. Craig Dawson. Unfortunately,
yeah,
did happen to go in the wrong goal. But
I mean, when that happens,
it's a pet peeve of mine. But going into the lineup before the game started, obviously Jesse Lingard couldn't start because he was on loan from Man United, and David Moyes decided he wanted to replace him with Mark Noble.
He did just sign a new contract, so maybe to reward him? I don't know. I would have done that.
Why?
Well, it's like Benrahma not even starting. Like, it makes no sense to me, but
it just seems to me that for whatever reason, like if you look back at the Man City game, yes, we lost that. Liverpool game, yes, we lost that. The Tottenham game, we won that. But it just seems that whenever we're playing the big teams, it seemed before then David Moyes had the attitude of, fuck it, everyone's going to think we're going to lose. We probably are going to lose. So let's just fucking go for it.
Right.
What's the worst that could happen? And yes, we lost against City, but we played very well against them. Or we could have easily come away with a draw. Liverpool, my memory is not that good, but I don't remember us being kicked out of that game.
Wasn't great.
But it just seems that the 3 times this year we've played Man United, I don't know whether it's something to do with the fact that he used to manage them and he still has Vietnam War style flashbacks. But it just seems like he's like, oh, Man United, and let's all just hide and hope they won't score.
Yeah, man. I feel like they had a couple opportunities. They're late. They could never really get anything going. And then there was a point where it felt like we had a couple of opportunities. I feel like Souček could have scored. Bowen was almost there at one point, but really, like, we didn't play poorly. We just didn't execute. And again, like, we're gonna go against teams like them and City, or we have this season where obviously they're far superior in like overall talent and depth, and that's gonna come against you. But like we held our own. Like, they didn't score on us. We fucked ourselves, and a lot of times, like, that's one of the positives of being a big club like Man City or Man United is, where you can kind of just wait for the opposing side to fuck up, and we did do that, and they win in their favor. And I mean, they could have had a couple other goals on us. I thought our defense played pretty well for the most part, but they just we don't have that like killer instinct. And again, without Lingard, we're a totally different team. It feels like now. Like, I just think that like everything flows better with Lingard in the lineup. And I know that he couldn't have played this week, but it just, like, you could tell that he was missed in that lineup.
Yeah, it just seems that, I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had whenever, like, say, when Ogbonna went out, Diop came in and filled his spot very well, things like that. So we have interchangeable parts, but it does seem that we have, like, our best core group, and then as soon as you take one of them out, I wouldn't say we fall apart, because we played very well. We was very solid. We was unlucky not to come away with a point, I guess, maybe. But
I would have liked, yeah.
we just kind of lose a little bit of our identity. Like before Lingard joined, it was Antonio. When he got injured, it was like a couple of games where it just seemed like we didn't know what to do when we got the ball. Like when we was defensively, we was very strong, but when we get the ball, it's like, what do we do? And now this time Lingard's out, so again, it was a strange game because, like I said, we didn't play bad, but we just didn't seem to have that oomph going forward.
Right. And also, I would like to point out that it is absolute horse shit that they ended the game on like trailing team corner kick. Like we should have had a corner at the end of the game where they blew that whistle dead. I get that the time had gone, but like how often do you see that where they don't at least give you the corner?
They normally at least allow
when you have possession,
the offensive move to finish.
They did, but it was because it was against Man United. I'm just going to stand by that take.
Yeah, because I would argue that the corner
Man United gets to kick a corner if it's them trailing 1-0.
Yeah. Oh, because I would argue that the corner kick is a continuation of the previous attacking thing. It's because they kick the ball out, and so we get to carry on. So yeah, I think they should allow us to take that.
I'm not saying that would have changed the game, but we should have at least had one more opportunity.
It would have, because Craig Dawson would have redeemed himself.
Yeah, he could have redeemed himself. That would have been sick. He could have scored 2 goals. Do you get a hat trick if you do score 3 goals, but one of them is against your own team? It's like a half trick, maybe.
I don't think that's how it works, but
I don't think it is either.
But I know. But same tactics again. Tactics. That's the only thing I will talk negatively about David Moyes, is that sometimes his substitutions, and I'm sure we've had this discussion before. Now this is episode 18. We've been doing this for years.
Feels like it. 2 years actually. So that is years.
2 years, but it just when he made the changes, when Lanzini came on, when Benrahma came on, we were a lot more, at least exciting, I guess, to watch a little bit more. But it's like, why did we make those changes? And once we went a goal down, why wasn't we starting like that?
And like maybe hope that you get the I guess like you don't want Noble to come in because Noble's just basically like a defense mechanism now at this point. Like Noble's not really a threat offensively, so when you have when you've got like Benrahma out there, you're pushing to score. But if you take out a Benrahma and you put Noble in, like it's basically like throwing up the like, hey, we're just gonna play defense the rest of the way. And so maybe that was his logic, but like I think in that situation you got to go. Like I don't even think Fornals was in the lineup, was he? I don't think he was even on the bench.
No, I think I not? Yeah, I think I vaguely remember.
Okay, I hope if that was the case, that makes me feel a little bit better. But I think that Noble is just like Noble. He's cool to have as like a depth guy, but like I don't want Noble starting. Not in a league game that we need him. Maybe in like if this was the FA Cup and we were playing Rotterdam or whoever the fuck it is, like then I don't know. It sounds like they would be like a tier 3 team.
Rotherham?
Cheltenham. If they're playing Cheltenham, then I think that maybe Noble could start in a situation like that. And I love Noble. Noble's awesome. He's our Eli Manning for West Ham, But
he is.
He's not Benrahma right now. We need a Benrahma to go the majority of the game, not to come in at the 60-minute mark.
If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Mark Noble is fantastic for the situation when you're up 1-0, 2-0, last 10, 15 minutes. Okay, we need to shut the shit down.
And
Mark,
bring him in that.
Get on now. Do it. I just don't understand in a game where it's not a must win. Because even though it's disappointing we lost, we're still in 5th. It's all still looking good. We can still win our next game against Arsenal, and there's a game in hand against Chelsea, and we'll be equal on points with Chelsea, who are in 4th. So it's not the end of the world. However, if we had at least got a point, then that would have meant winning that game in hand would put us in 4th, and Champions League is again back in our own hands and all that good stuff.
Right.
So I just don't understand the mindset of, okay, Jesse Lingard, who's been very good offensively for us is not available. So do we replace him with Lanzini or Benrahma? No, Mark Noble. I just don't get it.
It's once a hammer, always a hammer. That's awesome. It's a great story, dude. But not when we need these points against a much better team. Like to be real, like we talked about it last week, where it was just like when you play a Man United or Man City or any of those, like I guess really those two, like this season on the Liverpool, really traditionally lately, it's been like you just have to hope that like you're on and you're clicking on all cylinders and that they're off somehow. And I feel like we didn't get the best Man United team. Like Man United wasn't like they didn't dominate us by any means.
No, the previous
we had a couple opportunities we could have done that, and I don't know. I'm not saying that Benrahma would have been like the fix, but like I would rather have Benrahma play 60 minutes than Noble.
Yeah, I mean going into this game,
I think if you're starting Noble, like you're showing that you feel like you're gonna have to play for a tie. You're gonna have to play for just the 1 point. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the worst thing to do, but it wouldn't have been what I would have wanted to do. You want to send Benrahma in there. You want to attack, and then hopefully you get to put Noble in while you're up 1-0.
Yeah. I mean, the previous Man United games, other than the City game, which is the Manchester derby, which we don't really count, but they drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace. They drew 0-0 with Chelsea. Before then, they drew 0-0 with Real Sociedad in the Europa League. So they're not very good at scoring goals right now. Bruno hasn't. I mean, he plays well, but he hasn't been playing how he normally plays. They've shown how they're very much not good at defending set pieces, which we are very good at set pieces. So I would have looked at this if I was setting up for this game. That fuck yeah, we've got a great chance to do something here. I don't know. I don't understand it.
It was frustrating. I mean, like I'm happy we're talking about this over a relegation battle, but like it's like you give us a taste of it, and I want us to be able to compete with those big teams, and we did to an extent, but I wasn't super pleased with the lineup. And I mean, I guess honestly, from now on, whenever Noble's starting, you're just going to kind of be a little skeptical, like why? What's wrong? Why is he in there? And I love him again, but like that's not it, man. He's not the guy.
I threw it up on the screen, but it's another show. Thanks, Katie.
Hi,
Katie loves the show. But yeah, so next up we've got Arsenal, which could be a very interesting game because
so Arsenal seems like they're kind of getting right now.
Arsenal's kind of finding their way again, but at the end of the day, they are still 10th. We are 5th.
Yeah, they can still fuck off.
And it's so if we can, because I'm just trying to, because it's kind of an odd. I mean, everyone's starting to kind of catch up now, but there's still some teams with 27 games, 28. Some play 29. So if you kind of add it, let's say everyone wins their games in hand, we can, if we win, or if we beat Arsenal, we'll stay in 5th, but we're on 51 points, and that will put us like 5 points ahead of Liverpool, who are in 6th. So we're still in a very, very, very good position. Because I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself. I'm not trying to get my hopes
still got
too much
10 games left, 11 games left.
10 games left for us to play, and I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much about Champions League because don't get me wrong, I'd love us to do that, but I just want us to finish.
I want Champions League.
Top 6.
That's where champions play.
It is where champions play.
So I will assume we're a champion here in America. I will count that as a championship.
Do we get a banner for that?
I'm going to make one. Champions Leaguers. See?
It works.
We'll make clear big blue shirts.
Get a tattoo like Champions Leaguers.
Dude, yeah. If we win the Champions League, I'll get a Champions League champs tattoo for sure.
Where?
I don't know, but I will get a West Ham Champions League tattoo if they do win the Champions League. That would be sick.
Get some Post Malone.
I think we're a little bit of. Yeah, dude. I'll get like Champions the hammers League. Under my eye.
In a teardrop.
In a teardrop style, yeah. And each one after that we win, I'll just keep getting another Hammers logo.
And then that's when, just to fuck you up, we'll we'll become like a dynasty, and you'll just have hammers.
Do you know what? I would be cool with that.
How would your lovely friend, lady friend, be? Would she be happy with that? Do you think?
I don't know, man. My team would be Champions League champs. I'd be okay with whatever. Right? If West Ham can win the Champions League anytime in my life, I got no worries at that point. Give me a giant Super Bowl and a West Ham Champions League, just a fucking West Ham like Premier League title or anything like that. I'll be happy. Just let me get in the Champions League. I'll be happy.
Arsenal though. So yeah, I think once Joshua Lingard comes back into the team, things will look a bit different. I think we'll have our offensive fire
bounce back game.
But Arsenal, like you say, are finding their feet again. How do you see the game going?
I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like a sour taste enough from a loss, but I got like this screams like a draw. I feel like this is gonna be like a 1-1, 2-2 draw, which isn't ideal. But like, I would obviously take that over a loss.
I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be new. I think there's going to be goals in this. I
mean, I feel like Lingard could easily score. I don't know. I feel doesn't Arsenal give up a ton of penalties? Like I feel like that's another option that we'll get one. Maybe either Lingard or Rice again there. I feel like Arsenal's kind of figuring out their offense. They think they do sort of match up against us pretty well, like with the speed against our defenders. Our defenders are going to have to really stop them. But I don't know. I could see it being 1-1, or I'd be fine. I could see us winning too. You know, I could see it really going either way on this, but I feel like it's like 1-1, 2-2.
I think Jesse gets a goal. I could see him coming back after missing the game, and like having that fire and like I missed that game and we lost. I want to come back.
I hope so. Get a nice little hat trick for us. Let Benny Hanna get his goal. Give us the Onion Volcano celebration that the people have been wanting all season long.
Yeah, I think Ben Rama gets his first goal.
Onion Volcano.
Because that's Arsenal. That's tradition. Like our players get their first goals against Arsenal. Like Declan Rice, I believe his first goal for West Ham was against Arsenal.
That's
if I remember correctly.
And if not, I'll remember it that way.
And then, Dawson. Dawson needs to make it right. So I think we're going to score 3 goals now. I've wrote it down. Lingard, Ben Rama, and Dawson. So we're going to score 3. And you know what's for funsies? I think our defense is going to shut them down. I'm going to go.
Okay, I like that.
I'm going to go 3-0 West Ham against Arsenal.
I'd be super cool with that.
That is my prediction. That's my lock of the week.
To the bank.
What is your shoe-in for the week?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just say it's 2-2.
Look at that. I remember you last week doing the fucking upset city. And now you're going 2-2.
Well, it didn't work out last week.
What happened?
It didn't work, and I'm a broken man.
Alex lost his smile.
Exactly.
Poor. But and then I think we got a stupid international break coming up soon.
I believe we do.
Oh, so yeah, we've got Arsenal, and then we've got on the 21st of March, and then we've got no game until April the 5th. Shit.
So we'll just be talking free agency, nonstop.
Yeah.
NFL free agency.
But before I guess there's some murmurs, some chatter, rumors going on about the Giants. Before we get into that, something that popped into my head while I was having my wonder about the backyard while I was smoking a cigarette earlier. Don't smoke, it's bad for you kids. But I was doing it. Word pronunciations. Right?
Mm-hmm. Heard of them.
So obviously, I'm not talking about the elephant in the room and the fact that you're American, I'm English. Obviously, we pronounce some words different.
You're English?
That's not what I'm. I hide it very well. It's because I keep my top hat and monocle in the drawer while I do the show.
You are wearing the flat cap today, though, so that kind of gives you away.
Yeah,
from the Peaky fucking Blinders, eh? I'm from Birmingham.
Yeah, I need when I want to say something serious, I have to like. I look like from.
Get in like that.
Yeah, I look like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
You can give me a blowjob. Yeah, clip that. Scene. You should definitely clip that.
Oh. But yeah, okay. I don't know because in my head, I don't know if you ever do it when you're doing pasta gravy or Bats do pasta gravy, which is our podcast Daddy. Which a new episode airs tomorrow, just in case you want to know that. Which we'll get into that in a second. But I don't know. Have you? Do you ever sometimes workshop shit in your head? Like,
all the time.
Okay. So I don't know why, but something I was like working on the intro of tonight's show, where I was trying to work out like a different type of snake that I could call you rather than Texas rattlesnake, but I couldn't think of another snake. But anyway,
cobra, water moccasin, anaconda.
No, but the joke was going to be it was going to be like a really shit snake. But then
garden snake,
the Texas garden snake,
milk snake, corn snake.
Is milk snake a thing?
It is a snake.
I guess you would know. You are the Texas milk snake. And
it's a snake made out of Milky Ways is what it is.
And it works because you're pale. Like me.
Exactly.
Note to self.
Texas milk snake.
Milk snake.
I don't know if I love that name, but...
My milk snake brings all the boys to the yard.
Okay, that song's better. That makes it better.
That's gonna be a hell of a. I'm gonna have to get onto that.
Yeah, you have to draw it.
Yeah. Anyway, where I was going with this. So I was talking about an intro, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Alex, what's good in the hood?" Right? That was gonna be like something I was gonna say, and then it made me think of like all the words that end OOD, like good, hood,
food, mood.
Exactly. No, good, would, but no one says, "Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna have some food."
They should. I say that all the time, actually. So,
wife, cook me some food.
My whiff, whiffé.
My
cook me the food.
What is that? Like, yeah, good. Hood,
There's
wood,
a bit that
food.
I do on the morning show I'm on. Shout out to Rod Ryan Show, 945 The Buzz on the iHeartRadio app. If you guys are listening in New Jersey, if not, just check it out in Houston. But every time my friend Tessa is doing the traffic, sometimes she's like she doesn't know. She'll be like Mersky Road, Mersky. Like she'll say it to me like going and a question, and I always 100,000% of the time I just put a weird inflection at a weird part of it. It's not at all. Like, she'll be like, "Oh, is it Kirkendall?" Like, it's Kukendall. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then just don't listen to Alex. Alex is never going to tell you the right answer. So it's like, just don't say it the way I said it, ever. And that's always a fun little bit.
It's kind of like whenever I buy like a shitty, well, not a shitty, but it's a cool like graphic t-shirt or something. Like, cause I'm a child, so I always buy those still. And someone will say, "Oh, where did you buy that from?" And I always go, "Oh, I bought this from Target."
Target is fun. It's French.
Exactly, it's classy.
Okay, so what do you call? There's Nike, and there's Reeboks, and then there's the 3 checks. What do you call that?
Adidas.
It's not how you say it. It's Adidas.
Why do you believe that it's Adidas?
Because was it Run DMC? My Adidas.
So you're saying that
Run DMC tells everybody how to pronounce it. So listen to Run DMC.
You're saying
I think it's Run DMC, right?
Yes, it is Run DMC. You're classing, or you're trying to base the correct pronunciation of a company that is named after a German man that Run DMC is where.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, because the United States historically has beaten Germany in wars, so therefore they get to pronounce it however the fuck they want.
Right. How?
In Germany, they're probably like Adidas.
If you type in,
it's the Adidas.
do you ever play the Google game where you type in some of what you're thinking of and you just want to see what Google suggests?
Oh yeah, if you ever have a guest on, fun fact is like you just Google their name and then it'll be like people also ask, and then you just ask them those questions that usually have absolutely nothing to do with the same person you're interviewing.
Well, another fun game is Google racist, where like if you have to make it fully legit, you have to like clear all your like cache, your history, because you don't want Google to try to use its manipulation tools to try to work. So you have to like have a clean slate, and then all Google has to go on is what's popular in the searches to try to guess what you're trying to search, right? That's how their algorithm works. And then you just type in things like, why do Asian people, and then you see like,
well, that's like setting it up.
Shit. No, but it's like the top searches of why I think, and it's hilarious. Like, anyway, so the reason I did that because I put in how
why
do you pronounce...
Asian people, Mike? Why? You tell me. You finished that joke.
Let me ask my wife because she's Asian. Hashtag I'm not racist. Because that's how it works, right? That's
I think so. You're right.
I got my card. It's my get out of jail free card type thing. But yeah, so I was like, I typed in how do you pronounce, and before we find out how to pronounce Adidas correctly,
it's Adidas.
What do you think? We're gonna play Family Feud.
Survey says.
So we're gonna go with the top 5 answers of how do you pronounce from Google. What are you going with? Right, your first guess.
Worcester sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your first guess?
Yeah, I feel like that's a tough one for people to pronounce. That's really the only thing I can think of.
Unfortunately, that's you've lost your first life.
How to pronounce xylophone? I don't know. What are they? Just tell them. Tell me them. I'm not gonna get it.
The first one was quinoa.
Quinoa.
Charcuterie.
Well, that's a good one. Charcuterie.
And then this one, fair.
Charcuterie boards.
How do you pronounce GIF?
It's GIF.
GIF. It's GIF.
GIF.
Hero or gyro.
Well, it depends on how it's spelled.
And then acai.
Acai
bowl.
Acai bowl.
So that was a fun.
That was a great exercise.
Right, I'm gonna play. So apparently, Google, you bastards. So I was wondering how do you pronounce Adidas or Adidas, and it comes up with the pronunciation tool where you can press play to hear it pronounced. But it says it gives you 2 options: the American pronunciation or the British pronunciation. Which
that's easy. Who won the war? Again, America. So it looks like we win that way.
I don't know. I'm going to press play. Let me know if you can hear this. I doubt you will be able to, but you never know. You didn't hear that?
Could not hear it. Adidas.
It does say
Adidas. That's me doing it. That sounds just like me, but that's crazy that it's telling you exactly what I said.
Oh shit!
I click the British version.
So
Adidas.
So I've now pulled up. We have gone very rogue, as we always do. I have pulled up a YouTube video of how to pronounce it correctly. Apparently, so this is going to be it. This is where we find out.
No, I think I know how to pronounce it. You don't know how to pronounce it.
Right? Can you hear this? Okay, cool. So
This is great
if I
radio.
if I'm wrong, then you're not going to hear it.
So I can't hear anything. So therefore,
Basically, he just said Adidas because it's the German person who formed the company was Mr. Adidasler.
no, it wasn't.
It was. I'm going to
No,
send you
he
this link.
wasn't. I'm not gonna read it.
No, I'm not going to send.
I'm
I'm
not gonna
going to
read
send you
it.
the video.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read. I'm not even gonna watch it. I won't even watch it. All right, Mike. I'm right. You're wrong, and I'm not gonna look at anything that's gonna make my point wrong. All right, your
Adidas.
alternative facts can get right the fuck out of my country, buddy.
Fucking hate you. Well, talk about your Giants then. What's supposed to be happening with the Giants? Because nothing.
3 years, $60 million. Dalvin Tomlinson to the Vikings, 2 years, $22 million. Giants still rumored to be in the market for Kenny Golladay. Don't think it's gonna happen, but that's basically my Giants free agency recap.
Okay, perfect. Join us
Got
next
$11
week.
million in cap space.
So is Williams? Is that confirmed or is that still
Confirmed?
That's
3 years, 60 mil. That's 20 a year. That's not bad. I think it's like 40 mil guaranteed, something like that. Like, I don't think that's a bad. It's not like we're not locking him up till he's like 40 or anything like that. So I think I'm comfortable with that. I think we had to pick between him or Dalvin. Us franchising him basically was the writing on the wall that Dalvin was going to go somewhere else. I love Dalvin Tomlinson. I think Dexter Lawrence is going to step in that spot, basically be as good, if not better, than Tomlinson was. It's just that's one of the things that happens, man. It's fucking free agency, and everybody fucking complaining like a goddamn Jets fan today. Just needs to shut the fuck up. We have a guy. Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Joe fucking Judge. And in Joe Judge, we trust. All right? Joe Judge knows what's going on. He's going to figure it out. Don't bash Gettleman to me or anything like that. Gettleman, yeah, maybe he's weird, all right? But he's our weird guy, okay? And we're going to ride with that ship. If you want the fucking captain on the plane to crash the plane, then get the fuck off the plane. Just jump on out because this ain't that kind of place, all right? We're going to ride with Judge. We're going to ride with Gettleman. We're going to ride with Danny Dimes. And they're building something, man. They're building something. Dalvin was awesome. I love Dalvin. I hope he does well in Minnesota. Not too well.
Are we playing the Vikings this year?
I don't know, but if we do, we'll beat them.
The whole meme of the person poking that thing with a stick and like do something. Is that yes? I'm glad we locked up Leonard Williams, but he was already on the roster. I guess I appreciate we're keeping.
You had to keep him
on
the. You had to keep
I
him
appreciate we had to keep him, but it's like I want to see improvements. I want to see additions. I want to see things happening.
But just because it's new and shiny doesn't make it good. And I think a lot of people think that. This isn't Madden. This is the NFL. And just because your team doesn't rush out to sign a million big name people, one, means they're saving some money. Two, it also means that, like, maybe, like, you know, we like Stephanie on the podcast last week, we were talking about you got to fucking sign Danny. You got to sign Saquon in the next year or two. Like, they can't be just maxed out on the cap, or else they're gonna have to start making cuts. And they want a team that's gonna be around long term and not buying everybody. I mean, yes, they could still go after Golladay, and I don't hate Golladay, but like, I don't know, man. Like, again, Steffi said he only played 5 games last year. You don't want. I think we can get another guy in the draft. I think we can do something else. I don't know if Golladay is going to be the quick fix that everybody thinks he is. I'd rather draft somebody that's on the cheap right now. Like we have a high enough draft pick to where we could do that. I just think that just because, like, last year when we brought all those guys in, everybody thought that we were going to just be fucking terrible, but we kind of fit in the places that we have. We have an offensive line that's really, really young. We're slowly building a team, man, and just because it's not shiny and new and a fun free agent, like Nate Solder, remember that? Like, that was a fucking bust. Like, they're not all going to be winners. And I would rather not strike out on a bunch of big-name guys that aren't going to pay off. Like, maybe we could get a backup quarterback. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, we never have really managed luck with backup quarterbacks. They always seem to get bored and get DUIs.
Never really needed one. Yeah. We haven't really needed one until the last 2 years.
But do you think, like, because we haven't got, I know you said the number, but we haven't really got that huge of a cap space remaining. So I think, because obviously we have to leave some of that for the draft, because obviously we have to pay the people we're drafting.
Well, and you don't want to backload a bunch of contracts, which is I feel like what we'd have to do in a lot of aspects.
That's what I was going to say. Like, do we? Because now, so pretty much we're at a position where if we want to sign someone shiny and new, we have to get rid of someone, pretty much. So,
or I mean, in the future, at some point, yeah, I that's my whole thing. It's like I'd rather keep a team together.
I was gonna say, so do you
term?
See...
Like, yeah, we weren't great last year, but we're changing the culture. We're building around this core, and if Danny's the guy you believe in, I believe in him. If Saquon's the guy you believe in, I believe in him. Like, let's go get him a fucking receiver in the draft. Let's build around a guy that's his own guy, not somebody that's already been like Matt Stafford's dude that they bring in. Like, I mean, Galladay is fucking good, man, but there's some other options there. I don't want Juju. I don't want Juju Smith-Schuster. No thank you on that. But I think that we can get some other guys, man. And I think the Giants will be okay. Giants will be okay. Give us 2 years, dude.
And how long we got to wait now? Was it about 6 weeks? 6 weeks to the draft?
Something like that. Like 40-something days, 50-something days.
I swear, this has felt like the longest gap between the Super Bowl and the draft. I don't know why.
Really?
Seems to have dragged. Maybe this is, I don't know, the lockdown effect. I don't know, but it just seems like Jesus Christ, get on with it. Or maybe I'm just paying more attention now. We're doing a podcast because I might be a podcast last year. But yeah, so do you foresee any more movement, or do you think we're just kind of going to lay low?
Depth in. I think we'll bring some depth in, unless we sign a big name receiver, which I don't necessarily want to do. I think we'll bring some depth in, add maybe get some backup offensive lineman guys, some special teamers, something like that, some depth at linebacker. But I'm happy with our Giants team right now, man. I trust Judge. I think Judge knows what he's doing.
And I think we're in a good position, even though we're drafting at 11. I think
Jalen Waddle, Smith, all kinds of guys.
Because this is pretty. I mean, because again, I'm not a huge college football expert, but from what I can gather, this seems like a very quarterback-heavy class this year. And a lot of teams are in the market for a quarterback. So I think even though we are at 11, I think we can get something pretty tasty at number 11.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Just trust in Judge, man. Whenever you're doubting, Joe Judge has it, dude.
We're gonna fucking crush. Because I don't think any other teams in our division at least are improving that much. Because I don't think. Is Darnold come to the NFC? I haven't looked at Darnold.
I don't know. I saw some rumors about maybe Washington wanting him. They just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. Dak's obviously coming back, but we're gonna fucking fuck up that division, dude. This is our team. Our team, our division.
We're gonna storm that division 8-8.
Let's hope so.
I'm not gonna make the prediction until we are. But yeah. So, next week, obviously, we're going to talk about the Arsenal game that we're going to win 3-0, as I predicted.
I sure hope you're right.
But if you're thinking, oh no, Mike, Alex, please don't leave me. I've enjoyed you talking so much. But you want to listen to Alex a little bit more. Tomorrow, brand new episode dropping of our podcast daddy. I should probably think of something else to call you guys then.
No, keep calling us that.
Podcast Daddy, Pass the Gravy podcast. What have the good people of the interwebs got to look forward to for tomorrow's episode of Pass the Gravy?
I mean, we're going to be talking brackets. We're either doing a mock draft of the most likable people or numbers. numbers. I really want to do a draft of numbers just because I think that would be a lot of fun. But then we're going to talk brackets. We're going to talk about I'm going to go camping, and I'm not a camping guy. I'm going to go camping this weekend, so I'm going to see if Pat and Robert can give me some pointers. And just kind of, we're going to talk about all kinds of other stuff. All kinds of other stuff. It's going to be pretty dope. We're going to answer your questions, ask what Jesus would do in a situation, and give you the answer for that. And yeah, just come on. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a good time. Pass the Great Podcast, wherever else you listen to podcasts.
By the way, last week's draft about the Royals. I don't like the fact that I think Robert won that one.
Well, I have not lost a mock draft yet this year. I'm 3-0, so 3-0-0.
I think technically your one was better, but the fact that he chose Jerry King Lawler.
So what you just said, is mine is a better one.
He got the automatic win for including Jerry the King Lawler.
See, it's not about one person, and that's what I hate. It's about the overall draft. It's a 4-person draft, dude.
Also,
if you have Jerry the King.
So have you definitely picked the subject for tomorrow's draft?
No, but it's one of those two, I think.
Okay, so between me and you, because I don't think Rob or Pat's going to listen to this podcast in the next 24 hours, if at all.
No.
If you do the numbers one?
69 or 420, 100% of the time.
Maybe. But keep this one in your back pocket. Keep this one in your back pocket, because this one... You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Umpteen.
I don't even know what that number looks like, dude.
No one does. That's the good. But if it's people use it as I've done this umpteen times. It's a number. No one knows what it means. It could mean 4. It could mean 500. It's the best number in the world.
Mambo number 5 is probably one of them.
That's good. So, I mean, it's a good. You got 3 there, so your number 1 pick's pretty solid. 69, 420, or Mambo number 5.
Well, 69, 420, Mambo number 5, 69, and then 6,969.
What about Infinity?
Infinity would also be a good one. I want to do numbers next. I want to do numbers so bad.
I've warmed you up. We're warmed up now.
Yeah. Nobody share this with anybody.
Yeah. Now you're just going to phone up Pat. We're doing the podcast now. I'm ready.
Right. We're going. Record right now, this second.
If you don't, you lose by forfeit.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Okay, so follow this. Let's do the point. I'm still bad at this. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Fish. Follow Alex at Alex J Middleton. At CBB Pod on pretty much everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you want some swag, some merch, I got a merch.cbbpod.com. If you just want to send us money because you're a nice person, you got like, oh shit, I've got money and I don't need this money. I'm gonna just go to support.cbbpod.com. Alex, just to double check, where can people find the podcast Past the Gravy tomorrow?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, at Past the Gravy Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and Past the Gravy Podcast on Facebook. PastTheGravyPod.com as well.
Beautiful. Well, thanks very much for joining us again. If you've watched and you want to listen to it, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, not on iHeartRadio, but on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to this on Spotify and Podcasts, you're like, what do these motherfuckers look like? You can watch us live in video form on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch each and every Tuesday. But until then, that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. See you next Tuesday.